Jealousy turning through sick lullaby, choking on your alibi. He is calling me my eager eye.
Hello, Starbucks. What can I get you today?
Hello, please can I get an iced mint tea? Thank you.
So just a tall size, yeah?
Yes, that would be, or maybe I'll get a grande because it'll be the same price, won't it?
260 at the window, okay?
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
New things on the Starbucks menu: a pink coconut refresher drink, strawberry acai refresher drink. Anyway, whilst I'm in the Starbucks queue, hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Summer Project episode 7, and a bit of a different one for me today because you need to grab yourself a cup of tea or like a Coke Zero or like a nice pint of water because we're gonna have a juicy girly chat today. The somewhat exciting start to this video is that I now have like a dash cam, so like no, we don't need the wipers on, that's going to be a very annoying sound. Thank you. I now have like a dash cam, so my vlog camera is like set up on the dashboard. A bit wobbly, I'm not gonna lie, so we'll probably park up in the car park for a little minute whilst I answer some of the exciting questions that I got asked on my Instagram. But I've picked 10 that I'm gonna answer, and yeah, it's gonna be a fun video. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe because I upload new videos regularly, and give this video a like because I guarantee you're going to enjoy it. And because I always do like an update in my summer project videos. We're now at week 7. I did my progress photos like much earlier in the week. Today is Sunday actually, so I did my progress photos on like Wednesday, and I was 6.6 pounds down at week 6, and I'll insert my sort of current progress pictures here because we are now halfway through the summer project, and I am actually going to kind of change up my health and fitness routine next week and onwards, so make sure you subscribe for episode 8, which will be out next week. Is my tea ready yet? I'm parched. Oh shit, it's my turn. Hiya. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, have a nice day. Woohoo! Right, let's have a taste test of my iced mint tea. Lovely. We will park up for a minute and start getting through some of these questions. So, okay, question number 1. What are your top 5 places that you want to travel? And I like this question because, ironically, me and Chef Jeff over dinner the other night made like a bucket list. So we got the notes out on our phone and like wrote down basically like all the places that we want to visit and all the kind of like things that we want to do, and like just so we can kind of tick them off, because I find that sometimes you can just repeatedly go to the same sorts of places, and we really want to kind of like make our way through our bucket list, you know? So my number 1 is Australia. Like I really want to go and spend some time in Australia. It's like a bucket list thing that I've had for ages, and we are like gonna hopefully do that soon, like ideally in the next year. So I mean, stay tuned because the vlogs would be fantastic, wouldn't they? Yeah, LA is number 2, and I know like LA is you know, I don't hear great things about it, but I'd love to go to like Newport Beach and like, you know, visit the OC and like go to Malibu and just do the Hollywood sign hike and all that sort of stuff. Like that is like absolute gold to me. Number 3 is the Amalfi Coast. I'm like dying to go and visit there. I've only been to Italy once. I went to Rome, and I'd love to go to the Amalfi. Number 4, I'd say probably like Santorini. That kind of like Grecian luxury vibes, like that is bucket list. And then number 5, I'm not going to say because I know it's ridiculous because like we're not engaged, but we talk about where we'd go on our honeymoon, and I mean it'll just be fun to keep this as a surprise. So sorry, I'm going to keep it a secret, but it just means you've got to subscribe because so much fun stuff could be coming in the next like 5 years. Do you know what I mean? How often do you drink alcohol? And I wanted to answer this question because it's something that I like kind of feel quite strongly about, and it completely varies, and I don't drink loads. Like last night, for example, my cousin is down with her boyfriend, like visiting the family. We went out for food and then like went out for drinks, and I just like really like didn't fancy drinking, and I just enjoying not drinking at the moment. Like it makes me feel really rough. I'm feeling really like fit and healthy, and the thought of being hungover and like in bed just really doesn't excite me in any way. So like last night we went out and I had like a non-alcoholic gin and tonic. It doesn't make a difference to other people whether you drink or not. So yeah, I do drink sometimes, and like I'll usually get like an Aperol spritz or a gin and tonic. Like if I want to, if it's like a fun occasion. I get very hungover like very easily. So any tips for how to deal with a breakup? First of all, I'm sorry if you are going through a breakup, the person who asked this, because she did do a broken heart emoji as well. I went through a very rough breakup, which was very, very difficult. Like it was the worst time in my life, and I feel like it's not talked about enough, where it's quite breezed over. Like, you know, and people say like, oh, me and my boyfriend broke up. I feel like it doesn't get overly kind of not taken seriously, but it's just like, oh, like, but it can be a really horrific time. And like for me, I was with my ex for like nearly 6 years, and we had a mortgage together, and like we were very, you know, embedded into each other's lives and into each other's families. Like, you know, was with him for the majority of my 20s, and you know, to go through the whole process of breaking up and selling your house and selling all your furniture which you have together, and then, you know, moving out and starting from scratch all by yourself. It is a very, very challenging time, and like a very sad time, and you feel very alone with it, because the only other person who probably really knows what you're going through is your boyfriend who you've just broken up with, and I'm sure you're not going to kind of lean on each other's shoulders to kind of get yourselves through it. So my advice is just to let yourself feel what you feel. Don't be in a rush to feel okay, because like you have to just like ride it out and go through the motions. But as much as it's impossible to see at the time, it will be okay, and it will be so much better, and like what is coming is better than what has gone. And I fully believe that everything happens for a reason. It's hard to see it at the time, but it will get easier, it will get better, but you just have to ride it out. And using that time to do things for yourself, be really healthy, be really active, like do the things that will make you feel better and make you feel vibrant, you know? Like I wouldn't suggest like going out and like drinking all the time, because it isn't going to help. Like you want to do things that make you feel like, yes, I'm doing this for me and I'm looking after myself. The people you surround yourself with in those times are key. Like surround yourself with people who don't make you feel like a burden and who are happy to listen to you, because it's only a short period of time in your life. And I just remember these like key people who were there for me during my breakup, and I felt like so negative, and I felt like I was just such a drain of energy because I was so sad, but they just stuck by me no matter what. It will get better, and don't just like stay in a relationship because you're scared of like the aftermath, because time flies and you'll be a much better person for it. And people often choose unhappiness over uncertainty, but don't. Do you have a worst date story? If you listen to our podcast, mine and Jeff's podcast, the Nourish and Gain podcast, on one of the episodes we actually fully talked about our worst dating stories, and the one that I talk about, which still haunts me to this day, is that a guy asked me out on a date and he said, I'm going to pick you up at 7 and I'm not going to tell you where we're going. And I was like, ooh, how exciting. Like, you know, obviously it's 7 p.m, so there's clearly going to be food involved. Like if someone said they were picking you up for a date at 7 p.m, would you have dinner beforehand? I don't think you would. You'd expect there to be some sort of food involved. So I hadn't eaten. And if you know me, not eating isn't an option, because I'll be hangry and miserable. So he picks me up at 7 and he takes me go-karting, and I was like, okay, like fine. Did the go-karting, like stomach rumbling, but you know, obviously I was an absolute weapon. And then afterwards, just like, oh, let's go for a drink. Like zero food involved. Like by this time it's like 9:30 and I'm famished, and all I can think about is food. And I just remember he was talking and all I could see was like donuts, and it was just a very, very miserable night for me. Like I remember getting home and just like placing slices of toast like down into my esophagus and just being like, that was the worst day ever. And that's the one that always springs to mind. What are the benefits of the kombucha drink I always see you have? Yeah, it's true, I pretty much have a kombucha every day. Currently love the I think it's the Remedy wild berry flavour, and you can just get it in Tesco in like a 4-pack, and it tends to be on like club card offer. So yeah, I love a kombucha. It's a really good source of probiotics, really good for your gut. It's basically like a fermented tea, and like anything fermented is just like great for the gut bacteria, and I find it really helps with bloating. It's like a nice fizzy drink and like refreshing drink, but obviously it's a lot healthier than having something like a Coke Zero, which has like obviously a lot of artificial sweeteners, which is fine. I still drink Coke Zero, but yeah, I just really like it for sort of like bloating and my gut health. Yeah, I highly recommend getting yourself a kombucha. And you know, you can get lots of different flavors and lots of things like that, so that is a good one. I feel we should start driving, so I have my questions, and don't worry, I will only look down if I'm at like traffic lights or something. I've got the next 3 like memorized, so let's just hope my dash cam is not too shaky. Okay, my next question was, if you could have 3 people at a dinner party, 3 guests, dead or alive, who would they be? And you know what, whenever I get asked this, ooh, I'm going the wrong way on a one-way. Yeah, this is such a hard question, and it'll always depend what day you ask me. But if I was to have a dinner party tonight, who would I actually want to be there? And the problem is that I know there's like the answer that you should give, and it'll be, you know, your politicians and your whatever, but mine is going to be number 1, J.K. Rowling. My gosh, I would love to just pick her brains, like her imaginative brains, and just say like, how did you come up with this story, and like ask her deep questions about the Harry Potter characters. J.K. Rowling is the author of Harry Potter. I'd like to think that you know that already, but yeah, oh my gosh, I would just have so many questions, and that would just be absolute goals. So J.K. Rowling would be one. My second guest would be Stephen Bartlett. He can come. I feel like we'd have a really good conversation, and I'd love to just have a chat with him about like life and the meaning of life and happiness and goals and business, and I just think it would be a really warm, beneficial chat, you know. So Stephen Bartlett. And then finally, I mean, I could lie, but my last one would be Kim Kardashian. Arrest me. She has done so well. I just feel like if you got to have a really good conversation with her, there'd be so much to unpack. The fact that they've stayed relevant for like the best part of 20 years in, you know, in our kind of generation is just, you can't knock it. Do you feel pressure to achieve life goals like get married, have babies, etc.? Honestly, hand on heart, not at all. Like, I don't know if you know, but I'm 31. I had a mortgage and I sold my house. Like, I did that whole thing of like, you know, getting on the property ladder in my last relationship, and, you know, going and living like a little bit kind of out of the way and, you know, not in a great location in order to, you know, get on the property ladder. Now I have no desire to like save up and buy a house. Currently rent where we are, and like the life that I have in this like area, in this house, like I wouldn't be able to have it if we weren't like renting our house. I've got no desire to just like put all of my money into like a house. Like, on my deathbed, it's going to make absolutely no difference whether I own that house or not. And I know a lot of people say like, yeah, but what about, you know, what about something to leave for your kids? It's like, well, I have no kids. So to compromise my happiness now for something that doesn't exist, I think is personally ridiculous. And things have just changed since our parents' generation. Like, houses are so expensive, and I'd like to just like, you know, keep working for myself and make enough money that I can, like, you know, to leave stuff for my kids, if like that's the kind of big thing that people think. I would like to get married and have babies. That's just because like I am literally obsessed with Chef Jeff. Like, never really felt as maternal as I have since being with him. Yeah, I'm not gonna rush to have kids just because of my age. Like, I know some people at my age like really want to kind of have babies now, but a lot of mine and Jeff's relationship has been in lockdown, and I want to travel and I want to do fun things. And if the time comes where, you know, we decide we're ready to have kids and we can't, like, that's just going to be what's meant to be. Like, I'm just happy to go with the flow, and whatever will be, but I'm not going to just like rush something just because, you know, society says that we should be saving for a house and having babies now and all that sort of stuff. One day for sure I would like to, you know, get married and do all that, but I only ever really felt like that when I found the right person. Like, I find it unusual how you can just really want marriage and babies when you either haven't met someone or you're not with the right person, because I've only ever been able to envisage it when I know who that's with, if that makes sense. I'm just happy to go with the flow. Whatever will be, and yeah. What is your favorite, very appropriately next, what is your favorite thing about Chef Jeff? I mean, there are many, but I think my absolute favorite thing about him is that he's just up for having fun. Like, he's just up for anything. Like, if I said to him, oh, like, we should learn this like TikTok dance, he would just find it funny and he would just get involved with it wholeheartedly. Or if like I prank him, he just laughs. He's just a very positive, like, easygoing person, and he just makes like everyday activities fun. Like, when we go food shopping together, like, I look forward to it, and when we say we're just going to stay in and have food and watch a film, like, I look forward to it because I know it's going to be fun, and he doesn't make things feel like a chore, you know. He's just a good time, and that's what I like, because we could just be in an empty room together and I know that it would be fun, you know. Yeah, he's literally my best friend, so that's probably my favorite thing. Okay, we have 2 questions left. What advice would you give to yourself 10 years ago? Gosh, 10 years ago. Fucking hell. 10 years ago, I was like way more thinking like, oh, I need to find a partner and get married and have kids than I am now, like 10 years later, which is crazy. Like, I was 21 10 years ago, and I felt way more sort of pressure from society then to have a 9-to-5 job and get on the property ladder. And I'm so glad that I didn't just like follow that blueprint of life, because I would be so miserable now. Like, even like talking about the breakup and stuff, you're never too old to change the direction and change the course of your life. Like, if you are having doubts at say the age of 30 and you think, oh, but I'm 30 now, you're only going to feel the same at 40, and then you're going to be 10 years down the line, so you may as well just like make the changes now that are going to make you happy. So the advice I'd give to myself 10 years ago is just don't rush the story. Like, your life is literally a story. It's got chapters, it's got a beginning, a middle, and an end. It's got characters who come in and they come out. There's highs, there's lows. We all have chapters. Like, if you're reading a book, you wouldn't skip chapters, you wouldn't skip to the sort of last page. So just don't rush your story. Just take each day as a page, and just, yeah, take each day as it comes, and what will be for you. Trust the timing of your life and don't look at what other people are doing. Just focus on what you're doing. Like, there are no timelines. Like, you are on your own time scale, you're on your own path, and things will happen for you when they're supposed to. Yeah, my main advice to myself would be, don't worry about what anyone else is doing. Ask myself, what is it you really want and not what you think you should want, And yeah, just don't rush your story because you are right on time. Okay, the last question, and then I'm going to play tennis with my sister. Could you be quiet, please? What would be your advice for starting a YouTube channel? And I love this one because, as we know, I've just got like a nice, small, humble YouTube channel. This YouTube channel is my hobby. It doesn't bring me anything, you know, financially or anything like that. It's just my hobby. So my advice for starting a YouTube channel, if you're thinking about it, is only start it for like the sheer enjoyment of doing it and nothing else. Like, don't start it because you want 1 million subscribers, or don't start it because you want to make money from it, anything like that. Like, start it because you will literally do it for nothing, and you'll put in the hours for nothing purely because you enjoy it. I think there's like a crazy statistic actually, which is like the amount of people who start a YouTube channel and then like stop posting. It was like over 99% of channels on YouTube or something will start the channel and then stop posting, and that's because it takes hours of your time. If you're not doing it because you actually enjoy it, like, you won't carry on doing it and you won't be consistent. So apart from that, I would say, first of all, don't care what anyone thinks. That is like absolutely key. Like, literally no one cares. Like, if you're out vlogging in public, yeah, anyone who judges you or makes fun of you for doing something that you want to do, like, isn't a good friend. So yeah, definitely, like, don't care what people think. Yeah, just own it, because anyone who's just judging you is just like, that's more of a reflection on them than of you. So yeah, first of all, it's just like, don't care what anyone thinks. Do it because you actually enjoy it and you want to be consistent with it, and be yourself. Whatever it is that you're going to put out there, just make sure it's like authentically you, because it's just so much easier just like filming your day or like making videos when you're just yourself. So, but then yeah, grab yourself like a vlogging camera, some sort of editing software, like have a play around with editing. Like, it's not going to be perfect at the beginning, but you've got to keep practicing and make the content that you actually enjoy, not that you see other people doing. So if there's something that you're really passionate about, then other people will be passionate about it too. So hone in on that and make videos about that. But yeah, I know, like, obviously I'm not really one to give advice because I've only got like a small channel, but I have been posting on this channel now very consistently, like weekly, sometimes twice a week for a whole year now, and I'm really proud of that. Yeah, that's going to be the last question that I answer. I hope you enjoyed this kind of girly chat and maybe you took something away from it. But if you did enjoy it, please give it a like, because it really helps the algorithm on YouTube for other people to discover this delightful video, but also helps people discover my channel. And please subscribe, because I upload new videos regularly. I've got 2 really fun videos planned for the next 2 episodes of the summer project. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed for those, because they're going to be really, really good ones. I will look forward to seeing you in my next video, which will be coming really, really soon. So yeah, I'll see you in that one. Thanks for hanging out with me.